On April 8, 2024, the new moon will look relatively large and, therefore, cover 100% of the sun's disk as viewed from the narrow path of totality that stretches from Sinaloa, Mexico through the U.S. to Newfoundland, Canada.
1. A solar eclipse occurs when the sun, the moon, and Earth are aligned or in syzygy. The moon, directly between the sun and Earth, casts a shadow on our planet. If you're in the dark part of that shadow, the umbra, you'll see a total eclipse. If you're in the light part, the penumbra, you'll see a partial eclipse. A solar eclipse only happens at new moon. The moon has to be between the sun and Earth for a solar eclipse to occur. The only lunar phase when that happens is new moon.
2. Eclipse totalities are different lengths. The reason the total phases of solar eclipses vary in time is because Earth is not always at the same distance from the sun, and the moon is not always the same distance from Earth. The Earth-Sun distance varies by 3% and the Moon-Earth distance by 12%. The result is that the moon's apparent diameter can range from 10% smaller to 7% larger than the sun's. 3. Solar eclipses occur between Saros cycles. Similar solar and lunar eclipses recur every 6,585.3 days, 18 years, 11 days, 8 hours. Scientists call this length of time a Saros cycle. Two eclipses separated by one Saros cycle are similar. They occur at the same node, the moon's distance from Earth is nearly the same, and they happen at the same time of year. 4. Maximum totality is not the longest possible in 2024. The longest possible duration of the total phase of a solar eclipse is 7 minutes 32 seconds. Unfortunately, the next solar eclipse with a totality approaching 7 minutes won't occur until June 13, 2132. That eclipse, with a maximum duration of 6 minutes 55 seconds, will be the longest since the 7 minutes 4 seconds of totality experienced June 30, 1973. 5. This eclipse will happen on April 8, 2024. Astronomers, whether professional or amateur, are familiar with the uncertainty and limited visibility of some celestial events. Comets may appear bright if their compositions are just so. Meteor showers might reach storm levels if we pass through a thick part of the stream. A supernova as bright as a whole galaxy is visible now, but you need a telescope that can spot it. In contrast, the 2024 total solar eclipse will occur when we say, where we say, for how long we say, and in the daytime, no less. Guaranteed. 6. The future is bright, but long. The next total solar eclipse over the continental U.S. requires a 20-year wait until August 23, 2044. That one is visible only in Montana and North Dakota. Great total solar eclipses follow in 2045 and 2078. Those events have maximum totalities of 6 minutes 6 seconds and 5 minutes 40 seconds, respectively. 7. You won't need a telescope. One of the great things about the total phase of a solar eclipse is that it looks amazing to naked eyes. The sight of the corona surrounding the moon's black disk in a darkened sky is unforgettable. That said, binoculars at relatively low power still give you a close-up view, one that you should take advantage of several times during the event. 8. Totality is safe to look at during the time the moon's disk covers that of the sun, and only then it's safe to look at the eclipse without a solar filter or eclipse glasses. In fact, to experience the awesomeness of the event, you must look at the sun without a filter during totality. 9. Tens of millions of people live in the eclipse path. In 2017, approximately 12.25 million residents of the U.S. lived along the path of totality. In 2024, more than that number live along the path before the eclipse even exits Texas. In all, approximately 31.5 million people can simply walk outside, look up, and see a totally eclipsed sun in the daytime sky during the 2024 eclipse, weather permitting, of course. 10. This eclipse will be the most viewed ever. I base this proclamation on 4 factors. First, the attention it will get from the media. Second, the superb coverage of the highway system in our country. Third, the typical weather on that date, April 8, 2024. And fourth, the vast number of people who will have access to it from large cities located near the eclipse path. 11. The end of the eclipse for the U.S. is in Maine. Totality leaves the United States for good in 2024 at 3:35 p.m. on the eastern edge of Littleton, Maine. An observer there would enjoy 3 minutes 20 seconds of totality with the sun 35 high in the west-southwest at mid-eclipse. 12. Totality lasts a maximum of 4 minutes 28 seconds. That's it. To experience that length, you'll need to be in the small town of Nazas, Mexico, which is about 40 miles 60 km southwest of Turin. And trust me, no matter how long totality really lasts, solar eclipses are so captivating, they always seem to only last a few brief seconds. 13. First contact is in Texas. If you want to be the first person to experience totality in the continental U.S., be at the Mexican border in Las Quintas Fronteras, Texas, at 1 hour 27 minutes and 21 seconds p.m. CDT. There, the total phase lasts 4 minutes 22 seconds. 14. Cool things are afoot before and after totality, although the big payoff is the exact lineup of the sun, the moon, and your location. Also pay attention during the partial phases that lead up to and follow totality. As you view the early stages through a safe solar filter, the universe will set your mind at ease when you see the moon take its first bite out of the sun's disk. Around the 3/4 mark, you'll start to notice that the shadows around you are getting sharper. The reason is that the sun's disk is shrinking, literally approaching a point, and a smaller light source produces better defined shadows. At about 85% coverage, you'll be able to spot Venus 15 west-southwest of the sun. If any trees are at your sight, you may see their leaves act like simple pinhole cameras, with hundreds of crescent suns appearing in their shadows. A staple of eclipse photography, this series taken July 2, 2019, shows the sun's shrinking crescent top right morph into a total eclipse center before creeping back out again bottom left. Credit: Michelle Tournay. Here are 14 fascinating facts about the 2024 total solar eclipse, which will race up through Mexico, trek through the United States from Texas to Maine, and finish out its land journey by dashing through the eastern tip of Canada. Thank you for watching.